Hello, lads. Hello, ladies. How are we doing on this fine Sunday evening? It's 8 o'clock, which means one thing. We are here back talking all things Sky Bet League One. 12 games, a goal in every single game across the third tier. Yesterday afternoon, some big results. Portsmouth maintain their unbeaten run, going to 20 games. Wade Elliott was sacked in the week after Cheltenham again went 8 games without a goal. Make that 9 this weekend as well. Lots went on, and Fleetwood Town managed to get a point. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Sky Bet League One match day. So again, as always, let me know if you can see and hear me. I know Tom will be there laughing there again. But before we do come to your comments, do put your comments in. And as well, as you're joining as well, please like away as well. That'd be massively appreciated as well. Let's get him in. Let's get him in the Owls. We've not unfortunately got Matt Farley from the start. He'll be in very, very soon. Hello, Jake. How are we doing?
I'm very good. I'm very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very, very good, mate. And looking forward to talking League One with you this afternoon. Well, this evening, shall we say. So we'll come to the comments. Good evening, all. Hello, welcome. Patiently waiting for T-Lop. It's been recorded and it's ready. What are you doing, Jake?
I'm plugging the map charger in. Bear with.
How are you? How are you? Perfect. I'll put it back onto myself until you've sorted yourself out. Evening, folks. Good evening. Hello, Rob. Thank you for watching yesterday's video. Massively appreciate it. Good evening. All Portsmouth fans, very, very happy. Kyle Edwards is the best loan. Jake, you sort yourself out now, mate. Yeah.
I think we're good. I'm new
good?
to these. I'm new to these Apple products, but I think we're good.
Absolutely.
Just here halfway through. You know why?
Yeah, absolutely as well. And Port Vale have to be up there. Josh Thomas from Swansea, Ollie Orblaster from Sheffield United, who's the best player. Yeah, he's been brilliant. Orblaster, been a real fan. That's obviously Tony. Which do you reckon have used the best loan market? I think Oxford have got some decent loans in as well. Port Vale, Divine coming in as well recently as well. Who else have we got?
Pompey have got some good ones.
Yeah, Thompson on loan as well. He's a big player for them. There's plenty. Again, so please like the stream as you are joining. That'll be massively appreciated. But Jake, go on then. How was your weekend, fella?
It was good, mate. We went down to Portsmouth Friday night. We drove down, got there about 9:30 time, a little bit later than what we'd hoped to. Met up with the 4-0 gang. So we had Tom, Dylan, who I'm sure is somewhere in the bloody chat, mocking me, no doubt.
So he will be.
Yeah. We had Pepe Lacey as well. I'm sure you recognise Pepe, Ben. Barney was there. We had a lovely evening bowling. Had a tour of Portsmouth, which was nice, in Barney's very nice, expensive car. There he is. But I did batter him in the bowling, so that is confirmed. But yeah, yesterday, mate, was good. I thought we played really well. I thought we were value for a point, actually. And I've said this to Tom. I've said this to Dylan as well. I thought the chances we had, we probably deserved a point. Pompey didn't look like scoring at all after they got the second. Well, in fact, the second came out of the run of play, really. But yeah, it was good, mate. I think had we had a proper team, would have gone there and got a result. But such is life. We didn't, so we didn't lose.
We're going to quickly move on. Again, all your comments will be answered. We've got a special 10-minute feature at the end where we answer all yours guys' questions. A lot sent in over on Instagram and Twitter this afternoon as well. So again, we'll start off Blackpool, Jake. They got a good result, didn't I know about it all over my social media this weekend? Blackpool 4, Reading 1. Reading, there's a bit of trouble going on there, isn't there? The ownership's going on, and away from home, the only side yet to pick up a point in Sky Bet League One. 4 defeats, and these are some crushing defeats. Cambridge away is in there as well. Blackpool away yesterday as well. And it just seems they've got no idea. They went to a 4-4-2 yesterday. It's disappointing they've conceded 8 goals now away from home. Blackpool finally scoring some goals, and it's Jordan Rhodes who's got 4 in his first 2 home games at Bloomfield Road. But it was a day for the strikers. Kwesi, who's just signed from Sutton, who scored on the final day last season for Sutton against Carlisle United. Hamilton getting an assist, winning a penalty as well. Owen Dale getting an assist. Jordan Rhodes getting a hat-trick. The only downside, not quite getting a clean sheet, but a superb result for the Seasiders. It does keep them 14th, however, only 4 points now off 5th. And that just shows you the strength of League One, how close it is, but also how Blackpool now, after 8 games, can maybe go on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, and do you know what? But I remember going on T-Lop and saying Jordan Rhodes is going to do pretty well for Blackpool after he came on and made his debut at Central Bank when we beat them 3-0. I thought it was decent that day, and he looks like he started straight into this Blackpool team. He's a natural goal scorer, and you look at some of the goals that he scored yesterday, 2 of them definitely. Well, the penalty also was very well taken, right into the area where the keeper can't grab it. So Jordan Rhodes has done wonders. It's also good that Blackpool's attacking output's done a lot better. Hamilton, Carey getting involved yesterday, just making sure that they're getting amongst the goals. For Reading, a little bit disappointed. Obviously, they've had a bit of a difficult sort of couple of weeks, haven't they? The manager got a bit of stick yesterday on the sideline as well. So, yeah. But I think you're right about the strength of the league. So Blackpool are 14th, and they're 4 points off the top 6 because they're on the same points as we are. It shows you how literally anyone could get into the top 6, apart from Fleetwood, it seems. But most teams can get into the top 6.
And Cheltenham, don't forget.
And Cheltenham, but Cheltenham next week, Ben. You know where they're going, don't you? You know where they're playing on Saturday, don't you?
Yeah, you know you got the Tuesday.
Yeah, you know what's happening, don't you? Yeah.
I'm a bit scared of a banana, but again, Blackpool are a team that just screamed to me they're going to get better as the season goes on.
Yeah.
The Blackpool in the game, if you look at the statistics deeply, which I did do today, actually, I can spend 3 or 4 hours on the prep for these shows, and every week I kind of have a little bit of a deep dive into a team that I've not really looked at. And Blackpool, I'd say maybe one of 4 or 5 teams I've yet to have a deep dive in, and it's probably Blackpool, Fleetwood, Lincoln, Oxford, and Portsmouth, because I'm kind of thinking, well, I know Fleetwood, I speak to you, Wardy, and Tom all the time, and obviously Blackpool kind of, you see all over social media. So I thought they had over 400 passes against Wycombe. They've been dominating positions in game. He's just getting the ball to the striker, and they've got that now in Jordan Rhodes. And I did come up and tee up and say Jordan Rhodes will not score enough goals to get Blackpool out of the division. He will score goals, but we need to see more from you. CJ Hamilton, like we saw yesterday. Shane Lavery will come back from injury and score 15 to 20 goals. Owen Dale again, Kwesi, these types of players, if they can all score between 10 and 15 each, it will be enough. So that is what I want to stress. Reading, Lee said, the better. But again, Bolton Wanderers now. Again, I did 2 little bets yesterday. I got 6 out of 6 and won a nice tidy bet. And I did another 6-fold. 5 teams coming in. Bolton, the only one letting me down on this one. Peterborough coming away with a valuable point. Johnson, Clark, Harris, again, 2 in 2, 4 in 8. And it's a Johnson, Clark, Harris derby next week against Bristol Rovers. The story of this one, Bolton, Gethin Jones getting sent off. It changed the game. After Victor Adebayo had just got them back into the game, the first goal in 5 for him and his 5th goal of the season after a hat-trick at home to Fleetwood in August. Again, Bolton are looking solid, although only 1 result in 5, losing twice in there to Wigan and Reading, and a couple of draws in there and a defeat in the EFL Cup to Middlesbrough. Some tough games coming up. Port Vale and Stevenage are coming up. And I'm saying tough games. You wouldn't have kind of thought I'd be saying, oh, hang on, you're playing 2 sides that are above Bolton in the table after 8 or 9 games in. Good point for Bristol Rovers. This shows enormous character. Bristol
Rovers?
Bristol Rovers, yes.
We're talking about Peterborough, Bolton, mate.
Peterborough. I've got Johnson Clark Harris in my head. Honestly. Anyway, Peterborough, we were all saying they've kind of had a poor season, right? They started well. They won the first 3 games. They've got the same amount of points as Bolton. They've scored 1 less, conceded 1 more. I think they've done a decent start considering all things going on at the football club. Good point for Bristol Rovers. For Bolton with 10 men, I think it's a decent point against a direct rival. Oh, Peterborough.
By the way, did you think it was a red card? Because I certainly did.
No, yellow card at max.
Really? I disagree. I think the fact that Jones studs up into the ankle of Ricky J, it's a red card. He's not in control of his body. I don't think he's in control. If I was the referee, I would give the red. Absolutely.
I've seen him given, but
he's given the referee a decision to make, and we should know. And everybody who's a League One fan in this chat or any sort of supporter of an EFL club knows that EFL officials are rather incompetent, and you should never let them have a decision.
They're not me on their ever slag a referee off.
Exactly, and he gave a decision to it. And also, Ben, I mean, we'll get onto this later. What is it about teams scoring and then conceding minutes later? Burton did it, Lincoln did it, Peterborough did it.
Arsenal did it today.
Arsenal did it today. It's a bit of a theme of the weekend, but yes, I think you're right. Clark Harris, really good goal from him. Obviously, Victor Adebayo, I put him in my team for the Team Up Extra episode that you should definitely go and check out. Patreon.com/that League One pod. A very good striker. Then the red card came, and then pretty much the second half was all Peterborough. And Peterborough, to be fair, I mean, I'm looking at the graphic that Wardy sort of taught me on SofaScore. Peterborough were knocking on the door, and I think it says it all that Nathan Baxter got the highest rating on SofaScore for Bolton. And I think Peterborough will be walking away from the tough sheet or the Reebok or the Macron or whatever you want to call it, feeling that they've missed out on an opportunity. I think really to go to Bolton, you've got an extra man for a whole second half. You've got a striker in Clark Harris on the pitch who's incredibly strong. You look at that front couple.
Dangerous.
Jay Jones, Mason Clark, Poku, Randall came off the bench.
Collins and Cipriano in midfield.
Exactly. They've got Wakeley on there. The lad from Chelsea that I can't remember the name of. Do you
think that's it? I'm going to say front. It's not obviously front, but that front six in front of a defence and a goalkeeper. Bilakapic, I think, is a decent goalkeeper. Although I kind of think that he's been a little bit sloppy for a few goals. I kind of think for the Bolton goal, the Northampton goal, I kind of think he's been at fault for maybe 3 or 4 goals for Peterborough this year. I think you're not going to get better than Collins, Cipriano. Jay Jones, I think, is hit and miss. He's good 1 every 5.
Randall's been good this year, though, Ben. Randall's been... Yeah. And you've got to bear in mind, they've also got the overlapping fullbacks, Harrison Burrows and Kyoso, who are both...
Mason Clark and Johnson Clark Harris. That's what they had for the front three for the playoff games. And I kind of think 4-2-3-1 suits them really well. I can see Peterborough just need to get back to being strong at home, winning 2-3, 4-0. A bit like Oxford once were. And if they can do that away from home, just nick something at Bolton, it's a good point overall. Yeah,
couple of weeks, mate. When we go to London Road, no doubt they'll find the fall.
Yeah, so Peterborough, Bristol Rovers next. Yes, it is their turn. Again, what a result for Joey Barton's Gas. And again, they've won the last 2, scored 6 goals, 7 points out the last 3 games. Jack Hunt getting a goal and assist. Aaron Collins, 2 goals for him, 2 goals, 2 assists now for him. Now, when he gets going, he will fly. Luke Thomas also getting some action. Again, 2 goals, 1 assist for him this season. I think he's been brilliant this season so far. John Marquis also adding to his tally as well. 2 goals in 2 for him. Tom was saying they don't come around all often, but he's got 2 in 2 games. And Finlay, Bolgrade and Evans in that midfield I thought were excellent on the day. And Bristol Rovers are looking stronger. They need to make the Mema Fortress because it's a nasty, horrible place to go. As you found it tough, you got a point there, didn't you? On the day as well.
Should have won.
Yeah, you should have done. I hear that all the time, but you don't win. So it's as simple as that. Get over it. Charlie White, though, for Wigan, did pull 1 back. 6 goals to his tally. All 6 goals, Jake, away from home. Away at Derby. Away at obviously Bolton Wanderers as well. Here again as well. In that run, I think he scored at Carlisle. Carlisle, really good goal as well. Callum Lang, again, disappointing display from him. I think he's been really poor this season. But Theo Asgard, Goddo, Wyke, Smith, Adiko, Charlie Hughes, Morrison, been really, really impressed with. Again, it's 2 defeats in a row away from home for Wigan. Again, slightly slipping. They are 21st. Without the deduction, they'd be 12th. I predicted them 13th. So again, I think they'll be in that mid-table area, 4 points without the deduction all season as well. I think they'll get out the bottom four, but Bristol Rovers fantastic, and they need more of them if they're going to push on and be a playoff candidate, because that's what they want.
Yeah, and one man sort of ran the show for Bristol Rovers yesterday, and I'm surprised you didn't pick up on him, mate. Jack Hunt, fantastic on a free.
Goal and assist.
On a free though, he was the main man for Bristol Rovers yesterday. Has been for a couple of weeks actually. On a free from Wednesday, a really good pickup. I thought Rovers have been threatening to do this to a team for a pretty long time, and we sort of all said that Bristol Rovers need a striker, and well, they've got John Marquis, and John Marquis is not a bad player to play up to. And when you've got players like Collins and Thomas and Giovanni Brown and Sinclair all running off him, then you've got some pretty good options there, haven't you? And if he can score, like Rob says there, like 10 goals this season, then you've got Collins on another 15, and you've got Thomas on 8 or 9, and you've got Giovanni Brown contributing with 10. You're halfway there to having a team that's going to score a load of goals. I mean, you wouldn't know what a goal is, Ben, would you, mate? Bless you. But
bit harsh.
Bristol Rovers were good. They've been threatening to do that. Wigan, I think Wigan will have better days. It perhaps just didn't fall for them. They come up against a team that have been threatening to batter people for some time. So, yeah, good for Bristol Rovers. I think they need to pick up on it though. They need to keep performing it, because Bristol Rovers last year got a really good win. And they did it earlier this season, didn't they? They went away to Charlton, won, then they Saturday after, very disappointing. So if they can back this up on Saturday with a game against, remind me who they're playing, Ben, on Saturday, Bristol Rovers? They are playing
Peterborough.
If they can go to Peterborough and get something, then I think that's been a good week for them. But great result at the men for them.
Absolutely agree. And Burton against Fleetwood now. Also, before we do so, please like the stream. It does really help out a lot. And there's currently over 70 people. So if you could just go and hit that like button as well, and subscribe if you're new again. On the road now to 12,000 subscribers. And hopefully we do it. And hopefully Fleetwood do win again very soon. But yesterday was a point, Jake. And overall, away at Burton, who had just won a game in midweek, away at Port Vale, a really good win. They played really well in my eyes. I think it's a good one. They got back into the game. Junior Coturna with one of the goals of the day. Cut inside into the top corner from 20 yards out.
Not quite the goal of the day though, Ben.
I was just about to say that. In my eyes, I kind of think you're looking at Potts, in my eyes, for goal of the day. It's in the top 3, though, 100%. It's a stunning goal. And it'd be interesting, obviously, when we do at the end of the season, end of the season awards. Obviously, we'll play a goal from every game week, which obviously I've got them written down. So I think that'll definitely be in the list as soon as put away, because I think it's an absolutely stunning strike to deserve to win any game, never mind draw a game, like Lee Johnson said. Leyton Orient, Cheltenham are Fleetwood's next 2 games.
Same.
They are big. Same. They are big, and you've got to think Fleetwood, if they take 4 or possibly 6, yesterday was a good point. If we lose, unfortunately it's not. But Burton is another point, 4 points from 2.
Yeah, and do you know what? I said this to you earlier on T-Lock. I think performances from Fleetwood have been getting progressively better. You've certainly been there more than I have, but from afar, I thought you were quite unlucky yesterday. The penalty, Ben Hennigan gave it away on debut. Apart from that, he was flawless. Headed everything away, kicked everything away. Seems like he slots straight in. Adds much needed experience to that back four that you're playing under Johnson. Obviously, I loved the video, Ben, when you're there celebrating Jalen scoring a penalty. I think we actually had it played live on T-Lock this morning. And then he goes, "Oh, he's actually put the ball in the net," which was a shame. But it was a great response, mate, because as they say on FIFA or EAFC as they now call it, you're most vulnerable after you've just scored, and Burton clearly paid no attention to that, and Quintera came storming down the left-hand side, and it flew over Crocombe into the top corner. So it's a very good strike. So I think it's positive signs. And, you've got Cheltenham and Orient, haven't you, next? Or Orient and then Cheltenham, same as what we've got them. But we have got a game with European champions West Ham before both of them, which we're looking forward to. But I think if you're looking for 4 points from them, win your home game and draw your away game. But I think Fleetwood are getting better, mate. And do you know what? It's all coming in time, isn't it, for when you play us on October 21st? You know where your first win of the season might come from, don't you? And I'm very much not looking forward to it. But yeah, positive signs for Fleetwood. For Burton, I don't know, mate. Really, I don't think they were much better. They've been really poor the last couple of weeks. You said in the video there that Dino's job was sort of hanging by a thread before.
If they wouldn't have beat Port Vale and they lost yesterday, I think.
Yeah, the win at Port Vale did him absolute wonders on Tuesday night. So, yeah, it was a bit of a bitty game, but one that I think Fleetwood can come out with more positives than Burton can.
I tell you what, Cambridge, Port Vale, two teams that are getting better, and both of them picked up a point. Connor Ripley, yet again, it was an awful, awful penalty. But Connor Ripley, my God, I love that man. And I see every week of how good of a goalkeeper he actually is. He will make mistakes, you know. I just like the way how he interacts with their supporters. Obviously, there's there's a good vlogger at Port Vale, obviously, that I've interacted with. He does an interview with him after pretty much every game, speaking about it and interacting with his videos as well. And he gets Port Vale Football Club. He got Morecambe Football Club, and again 7 penalties saved out of 12 in the League One in the last season and a bit. And again, he made some couple of good saves on the day as well. They'll be disappointed that they haven't come away with 3. In my eyes, again, Garrity 3 and 3 for that man. He's unbelievable, and him and Chislett in behind Wilson is a good front 3 as you like. I think Chislett this season has been excellent, a goal and 2 assists, but I kind of think that he's got a cup on the cup against Fleetwood, and his performances sometimes you don't see goals and assists from him when he deserves them. And the back 3 work really well, like Aviti, Smith and Barmer at the back as well. And they're not conceding goals at the moment in time. They conceded a sloppy one yesterday, but overall really sloppy. Unbeaten in 4 away games now. They've won 2 of them. They've drawn the other 2 points a game. And it's just about getting to that 50 point. They've lost that one game against Burton on Tuesday night, 3-2. The same result as last year against Burton at Vale Park, but 1 defeat in 8. I think they'll take an enormous credit from that against a side in Cambridge that have only lost 1 out of 5 at home, and that was to Matt Farley's Stevenage.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to get Matt Farley bouncing off the wall later, so prepare yourself, everybody. I thought this was a good game, actually, quite good tactically. Ben Garrity, obviously, I don't know if you've seen it, Ben. There's a couple of tweets surfacing when Port Vale signed Garrity off Blackpool. I want to say he came through that, didn't he?
He was at Blackpool, and then he was at Oldham for a bit.
And then there was a Blackpool fan saying, "Oh, he's a National League North player." And then I think you fast forward it to this week, and he scored. I think it's actually 4 and 4. Ben Garrity scored, which is fantastic for a midfielder. He was very good at League Two. When we
scored 4 goals this season, I know that.
Yeah, when we won League Two, I thought it was excellent for Port Vale that season. But again, excellent again yesterday. Ethan Chislett also showing why he got in my Teal Up Extra Team of the Year. I thought he was excellent yesterday on that in midfield. Obviously, like you say, for Jerry Okanabir, we know him before from this level, don't we? From his time with Shrewsbury and his time with Doncaster, he's been at as well. Very good goal scorer. Obviously, gets the goal. Great ball in from Kamani Gordon to set it all up. And then you're thinking, last minute, you give away a penalty, and the goalkeeper you want in the net is Connor Ripley, because he's just fantastic at saving. I don't know if I think it's a psychology thing. I think he literally just stands there on the 6-yard line before the penalty taken, just stares into the soul of the attacker. Yeah. And it just works every time, and fair play to him. So, I thought it's a good point for both sides. Ben, we spoke about Fleetwood Burton being maybe not a great point for either side. I think this is a very good point for both these teams.
Absolutely agree there. Carlisle now, again, disappointing display from them, but again, overall in the game, 4 shots on target, the XG, 0.26, not too great in the game, 277 passes, more than Derby County. Derby County, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. Against Portsmouth, 1 shot on target, 1 goal. Against Bolton, 1 shot on target, 1 goal. Granted, 3 of them are penalties. Conor Horahan scoring 1. and James Collins scoring twice. He got 2 yesterday, so it's 3-2 for that man. It's a good result on the road. Derby have now won 3 out of 4 on the road, Jake. Again, a good result for them in my eyes. I kind of see them keep going and keep getting these results. It's a typical Paul Warren performance. You don't play well, you keep a clean sheet, you win away at a side you should be beaten, in my eyes. Good result, 4-4-2, and I'm liking signs of this Derby side. They're not great to watch. They've got an awful lot of injuries. I think they've got maybe 8 injuries out as well. Forner, Smith, Sibley, and Mendes Lang as a 4. No Horahan in there as well. You look at the team and you kind of think, well, would he get in if their first choice player was in? I kind of think there's maybe 5 or 6 thingies. And before I do, and also a bit of a shout out to Josh Vickers, who lost his wife as well. I kind of think that needs to be mentioned. And what was it, 31 years of age? It's absolutely so sad. So my thoughts and my love go out to Josh Vickers, who's a very, very good goalkeeper. And also, he's got good people around him at Derby County Football Club. He'll have the whole football community around. So, again, ending with that, the best note in my eyes. Again, really, really sad. And, my thoughts go out.
Yeah, really sad. And Josh is a massive part of Lincoln City history. So I'm sure everyone will echo it, but everyone at Lincoln just genuinely gutted for him. Such a nice bloke, still lives around the area. Just a really good bloke, lives in a village close by, and we see him quite a lot actually in the Spar shop, which is quite fun. But yeah, really feel for him. It's a horrible way for his partner to pass away. So, but good of Derby to absolutely go to Carlisle. Difficult place to go. They've picked up in recent weeks, haven't they? With the win over Shrewsbury, they went to Stevenage, got a point. Came to Lincoln, got a point. So it was no easy task, but I thought they had a professional job from Derby County. They built on what they did on Tuesday. They beat us in the Pizza Cup. Or it's not the Pizza Cup anymore, is it? It's the EFL Trophy, isn't it? But I thought they were excellent. Ryan Niambe on debut was really good as well. But just fantastic. James Collins. There were links rumouring, weren't they, to leave the football club at the start of the summer, going to Shrewsbury on loan or whatever. But
yeah,
I think it's really important they keep him, so they've got more than one option up front that they can have. And Martin Wycombe's a very good striker. But if it's not working for him, Collins is completely different and can score like he did yesterday. So great win for Derby on the road. They'll need to back it up again on the weekend, but I'm sure their fans are very happy.
A great result for Charlton, Jake. 3-1. Miles Leeburn's back. Miles Leeburn scores goals. Again, they play a lot of long balls into the game. It's typical that they do that. And Miles Leeburn is the best you could want as a Charlton. Homegrown, young, athletic, can hold it, can score goals, can bring others into play. And him and Alfie May will cause absolute danger. Teddick and Blackett Taylor with a goal. Blackett Taylor another goal in 90 plus minutes. Adding to that one at Stevenage last week. 7 points from 3, 4 points in 2 under the app. Again, great result. And Potts with goal of the day. It meant nothing, but also funny. In all of Wycombe's games that they've lost, they've averaged over or drawn. They've averaged over 50% of possession. And in all the Wycombe games that they've won, they've averaged between 30 and 37% of possession. Wycombe having possession, let them have it. They won't do anything. If you don't let them have it, they'll win games of football. I think it's as simple as that. Yeah.
I thought Charlton were very good actually. They played the front three, didn't they? With Leeburn out on that right hand side, Blackett Taylor out on the left, and Alfie May through the middle, and that's a very dangerous front three, isn't it? Really, for this level, and they got off to the best possible start, didn't they? A great start from Miles Leeburn, and then it sort of ebbed and flowed, and I think it's going to take a while for Mike Afton to get his imprint on this Charlton side. They've got some great players available, and yesterday I thought they were excellent. Played the ball really well. I know they conceded the line share of possession, but on the counter, I thought they were deadly yesterday. And Tedic obviously was at Barnsley last year, getting on the score sheet, and Blackett Taylor. So for me, I think it's a good start to life under Appleton so far. 4 points from 2. They can average out over the next 38, 39 games, and Charlton could well be in the conversation for the top 6, whereas 3-4 weeks ago we all thought they were going to struggle. So, but yeah, credit for Freddie Potts as well. Great strike. first professional goal as well. That's not a bad way to do it, is it?
Absolutely. And we saw what it did to Trevor at Exeter earlier in the season when he scored at Exeter in the 2-0 win. Scored the next week. So Potts, maybe follow on. Well, it would be Cheltenham Stevenage next, but we're going to wait for the bundle of joy that is Matt Farley, the ball of joy. We can't wait to get him in the next 10 minutes or so. We'll quickly go through the grounds. Leyton O beat Shrewsbury, a 5th defeat in 8 games for Matt Taylor's men. A huge kind of turnaround for Leyton O in this last 6 games. He lost their last 3, 11 in the last 6, including a point away at Bloomfield Road, 3 away at Exeter, wins against Cambridge, and now against Shrewsbury in there as well. They're not doing too shabby, are they? Again, a back 3 for them. Graham has made a huge difference to that side. So, Trani, again, is it pronounced? You know
it
me.
It looks like Satoru.
Satoru. There we go. Thanks, Jane. 4 goals in 9 for that man. And he's also scored the winner in this and away at Exeter a couple of weeks ago as well. So some big goals for Leyton O. They don't win those games of football. They maybe draw them. 7 points compared to 11 looks a lot different. Huge win for the O's. Richie Welland doing a solid job.
Yeah, and it genuinely looks like, looking from SofaScore again, and Wardy's got me hooked on it, that I know they didn't get out of second gear, or by the looks of it. They struggled, and they scored their goal probably when they had the most chances and had most control of the game. And then from there on in, it sort of ebbed and flowed. Shrewsbury, we spoke about our concerns about Shrewsbury pretty much all season. I put them in my bottom 4. I know you don't think you put them in your bottom 4, but certainly had them running close, didn't you?
Yes.
And they're just very poor. The attacking output for Shrewsbury, you're looking at the starting 11. They have Max Mata, who comes with not a lot of experience in the Irish League. Yes, he scored a load of goals for Sligo, but hasn't really hit the ground running. Dan Udo, good footballer, but playing in a side that don't make opportunities for him. You're looking at Bennett and Kenner and Winchester and Perry. I don't know. It just doesn't scream a lot to me that they're going to score a load of goals. So I think Shrewsbury are going to struggle. I did call it at the start of the year. They've got some good players in there, though. Dunkley had a good performance yesterday, despite not winning. But just a big win for them. And if they can go to Fleetwood again, back that up on Saturday. I know you'll be desperate that they don't do that, but they can go to Fleetwood, get a point, get 3 points, then O's are sort of the season's slowly turning around, and I'd back them to definitely finish mid-table if they can get it going properly.
StreamYard disease. Just I give it to you, you give it to me, and we can't speak for the next 30 seconds. Can't speak. Anyway, please keep liking the stream, guys. We're at 21. Let's try and I think we got 66 last week, so let's try and see if we can beat that. So smash that like button. It does help more than you will know. And I tell you what's helping more than you will know. Devante Cole at Barnsley, 9 goals in 9, and we're having this discussion before, wasn't we, Jake? And I kind of asked what your thoughts of it was. Devante Cole scored 15 goals, his career best last season. And I remember at Fleetwood in the 2017-18 season, he was promised a move in the summer, didn't get it. And he was told, if you score goals, you'll get your move and we'll sell you. I think he got between 7 and 8 in the league between that one. And he was Fleetwood's best player. We sold him for 400 grand, I think, to Wigan at the time. And Devante Cole now is flying 9 in 9. Obviously, injuries may come in, and 3 games a week, he might not play as many minutes as he has been. But that 15 will go as soon as that's smashed. He'll be looking at for the long term of 25 to 30 goals, won't he? In my eyes, and I think you said that as well. Because if he goes and scores 11 in 37, much as that's all right, he's a decent striker's level, 1 in 3, 15 goals a season, did that last season, you'd be disappointed. I think he'll want to push on over that 20 goals. But they've also got Styles as well, who scored. And I kind of, obviously, he went on loan to Millwall last season because he wanted to stay in the Championship. And I've been disappointed with his performances this season. But I think in the last 2-3 games, he's been better. I thought he was Barnsley's best player on Tuesday night. Got the goal. And again, this is against a Northampton side that Northampton, they came up from League 2. Yeah, again, they're going to be down in the bottom 8, the bottom 10. They've lost 5 games. Again, all by 1 goal. It's all been closer in game. Bowie, Pinnock, Hoskins, Simpson, Leonard, the good players who really are. No Jack Selby on the day. I think Northampton will surprise a few this season. They made it a really tough game. And Devante Cole scored a late winner for them. That says everything you need to know. Good result for Barnsley. Northampton, again, their season won't be defined on games like this.
Yeah, but I was really impressed with Northampton. I thought they were harshly done by. I mean, they're completely making absolute balls of the first goal. They're playing around in the back when they don't need to. I mean, give credit to where it's due. Callum Styles. It sort of reminded me, Ben, and if you're of a certain age, you'll know what I mean. Papi Cisse away at Chelsea.
Yes.
That sort of curved banana goal, a little bit like that. Obviously not as quite as good as that, but still the similar sort of strike. And then, do you know what? Northampton absolutely peppered Barnsley for the rest of the first half, and they were very unfortunate not to get up and to get equalised. But like you say, they stayed in the game until the 88th minute, where Devante Goal, I think, as Charlie's called him up there, a fantastic strike, a really good strike from Devante Cole in the right place at the right time, like he tends to be, isn't it? At this moment in time, certainly scored. What is that? 10 or 9? That's 9. And you know, I think Northampton got the goal that their play deserved. Louis Appare's come off the bench a few times to score so far for the Cobblers. I think it's a good performance from Northampton. I think there was definitely one save that Liam Roberts had to make, go back to his old stomping ground. He had a really good save to stop an effort. But yeah, I think Northampton, you know, you speak about them the other week, they won away at Cheltenham and then they lost to Port Vale. I think you've got some very good positives in this Northampton side. And I think if they can get playing right, I think they're going to shock a few this year at Sixfields as well. So well done, Northampton.
2 games left, and then we will be with Matt to speak all things Stevenage. Oxford United picked up a brilliant result again. 3-0, back-to-back 3-0 scorelines. 5 wins in 7 for Liam Manning's men. Ruben Rodriguez getting his first goal and Cameron Brannigan adding 2 more of his own. 3 goals, 44 now for him in 248 games for Oxford United. Another clean sheet and again, a brilliant result. Scored 15 goals this season along the way, and they've got 2 tricky ties away at Stevenage next week and Shrewsbury at home. Again, could be a dogged fixture, a bit like that Carlisle and Port Vale fixtures turned out to be. Brilliant result against Exeter, who have been doing well themselves. Yeah,
closer than you think. Closer than the scoreline sort of.
Yeah, it was 2 late goals, wasn't it?
Yeah, Oxford got themselves in front, and then they probably should have scored a second in the first half, but weren't able to do that. And then second half, pretty much all Exeter, to be honest. Countless times that they carved them open, but you know, 2 penalties. One of them is very soft, isn't it? Let's be honest. Probably not a penalty, but you know, if you get given an opportunity from 12 yards, mate, you don't want any one other than Cameron Brannigan. I think he scored 4 in a game away at Gillingham a couple of years. Was it not
2 seasons ago now?
Yeah, 2 years ago. I remember that. Just a very reliable, you know, penalty taker. So good for Oxford. Obviously, we've heard it all from Wardy, but I think this is closer than anticipated. I think Exeter, probably looking at the game stats, probably could have come away with something, and you wouldn't have been surprised. So unlucky for Exeter, but for Oxford, that it keeps marching on, and Wardy enjoys himself. Maybe not as much as Farley, but Wardy is definitely enjoying himself.
I want to hear the Portsmouth fans now, because they are next top of the League One table.
Here we go.
20 games. 20 games. I forgot they were playing Lincoln, to be fair.
Come
20
on.
games unbeaten in Sky Bet League One. 9 wins, 11 draws in that time. 9 this season. 10 points from their last 4 games. 5th in goals scored, considering they couldn't score for a number of games. That is remarkable. 2nd most percentage of possession in the games. They've got 4 clean sheets in the runs. And they've got some tricky ties coming up. Wigan, Wycombe, Port Vale all coming up. And already this season, they've had some tricky ties away at Stevenage. They played Bristol Rovers. They played Lincoln, who were a good
Here
side.
they are, look. I can see them in the comments. Look.
Oh, here we go. They're all coming.
Here they are, look. Here they are. They've showed up now, look. Pompey. Oh, what?
Yeah. Better go and get my mum's iPad. Anyway, no. A really good result. Lincoln, I'll let you discuss them. But again, it had to be Regan pulled one out the onion bag. And Regan again pulls out another 3 points for the Blues against his former side. Paddy Lane also on the score sheet, former Fleetwood man.
He's on time this time, Ben.
He has 2 goals in 2 seasons now against the Imps. Up the Paddy Lane, up the Blues. They're top of the league. 9 games, 19 points. Portsmouth slowly doing their thing. But they were in this situation 12 months ago.
Yeah, no, they absolutely were. And Thomas very much said that. Where do I start? Because I don't want to drag on. I don't want to sit here and talk about Lincoln. It's very clearly all about Portsmouth. It's what the referee thought anyway. But yeah, look, Portsmouth were good. I thought Portsmouth were good for about 20, 25 minutes yesterday. They had us rocking. Alex Robertson played really well in midfield. I thought the passing in between, Colby Bishop is a great man to sort of, Ben, you sort of shaking around. I thought there'd been an earthquake in the northwest. But yeah, I think Colby Bishop's probably the best striker to play up to. And you've got the likes of, Robertson and Pack and Kamara and Paddy Lane running off him. It's just chaos, mate, to be honest. But having said that, Pompey didn't really look like opening us at the time. And so they didn't carve us open yesterday. We went in front, probably undeservedly so, but we did it. We were pretty good. Thought we played really well. Actually, we reduced Portsmouth to not a lot of opportunities. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I thought we should have got a point. Genuinely,
yeah, great.
The opportunities that we have one right at the death where it falls to Adam Jackson. It's probably the last play you want it to fall to. Connor should score a header. Jack Burrows certainly had an opportunity in the second half that could have snuck in at the back post. So I think we had a moment. So I think we could have deserved a point. Had we had a striker and Danny Mandroyu, Pompey could well have actually not be invincible. But we'll leave that to what it is. Look, the Pompey fans are in there saying that we were absolutely rubbish. But I thought we were excellent yesterday. Played really well. And do you know what? We play like that. Mark Kennedy said it. We play like that more times this season. We're going to win more games than we're going to lose. So I'm happy. Considering the state of play, injury-wise, etc., I thought we were good. Pompey didn't really look like scoring. Regan Poole, obviously, it had to be heartbroken. I'm glad he didn't celebrate because we've done a lot for Regan Poole.
And he's done a lot. It's one of those partnerships, I think, isn't it? He's done a lot for you. You've done a lot for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was our player of the year before last. Excellent player. Too good to be in this division. And that's why people like me and a lot of Lincoln fans were upset that he's ended up at Pompey because we genuinely thought he's too good for League One.
You not think he can go and be a hero and he'll end up in the Championship?
Oh, well, the thing is,
can I be honest with you?
Yeah,
I'm going to say this quickly now because I am wanting to bring Matt in. I think going to Portsmouth, he is in. He's smiling at me as ever. He's loving life.
Go on the Borough.
Anyway, I think going to Portsmouth is a better move than going to Sheffield Wednesday. Now, Wednesday are in chaos right now. Portsmouth are going really well. Yes, they're a division apart, but I kind of think Portsmouth are more likely to be in the Championship next season than Sheffield Wednesday are.
Yeah, I know. I think that the most disappointing thing is Regan pretty much said, "I'd like to go to the Championship. If I want to stay in League One, I ideally want to be with Lincoln." And then he goes into that. But you know what? Fair play. I had a bit of a row with a Lincoln fan that booed him yesterday. So, it's disappointing. But let's move on from the negativity. Can we bring him in, please?
Yeah, we'll bring him in.
Can we bring him in?
Before we do,
Mr. Farley.
We're just going to give Jake a quick break while he goes and wipes the tears out of his eyes. Also, keep liking the stream as well, guys. That'd be massively appreciated. Right, is he Matt Farley? How are we doing?
Fellas, can I just say thank you so much for having me? I love the pair of you. I love them.
Get in.
Get in.
Matt, you must be loving life right now. 4 wins away from 5 in Sky Bet League One. Another 3-0 result yesterday. I would say, how do you keep doing it? I kind of think, how are we going to stop you from keep doing it? Because a lot's been thrown at Stevenage this year. Injuries, kind of when you lost a game, always this it? When you kind of drew against Portsmouth, is this it? A sending off? Steve Evans rumored to go to Hib. Is that it? You kind of had 4 or 5 mini blocks and you just keep getting stronger from them, don't you?
Yeah, look, first of all, fellas, this is quite surreal for me, right? Because, I've watched my team for years down the bottom of League Two, and it's just, we've come up to League One, and, it's incredible. I never thought I'd see us here in this new era. It's been an incredible journey, and look, it's been a brilliant start for us. When we come into the league, it was one of those things where it was, do we keep that group that got us promoted? Do we keep every one of those players and go with that team? And yeah, look, maybe we could have done and been competitive, but I think the man that Steve Evans he's a winner, and he wants to be up the top. It doesn't matter what division Steve is in, he wants to be up the top. And he recruited a lot of players who have played for top sides. Nathan Thompson, for example, who just played in the playoff semi-final, and Dan Butler, and he brought some top level League One players, Louis Thompson as well, and keep him. Yeah, another one. And keeping some of the original players, we looked at it and we went, well, there's potential here. Everyone around the club was going, or saying to me, give me a slap on the wrist to go, no, Farley, no top 5 this season. I was like, well, let them play first and see it. And it's been brilliant with unbeaten at home, 4 away wins out of 5. I think best defence in the league at the minute. It's just been brilliant. We're I think what we've done so well is we got our style off early in the division. We in those early couple of games, I think that's important. Got 2 wins to start, and as Steve Evans always does, is he gets momentum behind teams and gets them doing really well. So yeah, it's been a brilliant start for us, and we're over the moon that we're in this division first of all. But to be up the top is fantastic.
Absolutely, and some big games coming up. They're going to keep getting tougher. Do you think you can maintain this over 46 games? Because I don't see why not. I think League One is anyone's this year. I think you've seen that with Port Vale, Exeter, yourselves, being up there in Sky Bet League One. And you kind of look down the bottom and kind of think, I'm not frightened of them. But when I kind of see a Stevenage or an Exeter or a Port Vale, I'm kind of thinking the difficult games. And you go to the ground and you kind of think it's going to be, you play by their rules. And it kind of feels a bit like when Wycombe first came into this division. Do you think that's all down from Steve Evans? Do you just kind of think that whatever squad you had, you're going to be that type of side anyway that's going to be hell for leather and just going to be so hard to play through? Because the number of players that I like in your team, I think a big Pidge at the back, I think is phenomenal. I think they said on commentary yesterday, didn't they?
Big goal.
BGR. We love the BGR. I'm the BGR.
Jordan Roberts as well. I mean, we had him the year we won League Two, and I actually remember I not spoke to Farley, but when we played Stevenage in League Two, when we won it, we went to the Lamex, completely wiped the floor with it. I'm just curious, Farley, where has this come from? Because I remember playing Stevenage, like I say, when we come up into League Two, and it would be rude to say you were a basket case, but you were a little bit. You had Dino Mamria in charge. I think you had Elias Chair on loan. I remember that day he came to the bank and scored 2. Well, is this rise? And I listen to the pod every week, so I know it is. But
he's a big fan girl.
For the benefit of the viewers,
I've heard you listen every episode.
I do,
by the way, guys, it is in the description, so go and give it a little bit of a
absolutely,
and see why we love it, because we listen every week. Why don't you? You don't have to be a Stevenage fan. Just go and listen. Positivity. If you want to smile, just go down there.
Come and listen to us. Yeah, do it.
Has it been since Steve come in the building that you guys you've just gone on this rise? He kept you up, and then is it down to Steve Evans, or is it that there are a couple of factors in players to why you've been so successful?
So it's a very simple answer. Yes, it's completely all down to Steve. Now I'm going to take us back. Actually, before when you mentioned of us playing you, by the way, I'll always remember that day at Sinsel Bank with Elias. And what everyone forgets as well was he nearly won the game actually about 2 minutes later. But he did. We had a very good night out after that night. Very good. Look, there's been an ongoing thing at our football club. Back many years ago, we had another really great side that achieved some things and some great things. And really, since that moment, we've never really brought in the right managers. And over the past 9 years at Stevenage, we've seemed to have brought in inexperienced managers at the level. And they've always been budget managers. So I'll give you a few examples. So we had Darren Soul for a tenure. Now, Darren Soul, I think he's still at Yeovil or somewhere.
Did he go Yeovil?
But that was it.
Like that?
Yeah. Darren Soul was a fan of the club that used to stand on the terrace. He was an academy coach. He was never really a Football League manager, right? So we had Darren Sole, and even previous to that, we had Teddy Sheringham, who had no experience of managing a Football League side, right? So we go from Sheringham to Sole. Then we went to Dino Mamria. Now, at the time, Dino hadn't managed any Football League side. He'd come from Nuneaton. He didn't have experience. It was a bit of a budget appointment because Dino had been at the club before. He'd been a player, a bit of a legend. So that was a bit of us. Then from Dino, we went to Mark Sampson, who was a manager of the ladies' team, who was a coach. Mark actually did surprisingly quite well for us actually when he was in charge. And then from there, we went to Alex Revell, who's now first team coach with Steve, and was about. So we'd had this running theme that every year or every couple of years we'd appoint the wrong manager. And Steve Evans, when we appointed Steve Evans, he was the first proper Football League manager that the club has ever appointed. He's the first one, the first with any relevant experience in the Football League level. So it is entirely down to Steve. He was the perfect appointment for us as well because, you know, he's got that thing about him, Steve Evans, that when he's not your manager, you hate the guy, but when he is your manager, you love him, and that suits us. So, you know, not only does he bring that wealth of experience, not only does he have that resource book where he can bring your Jordan Roberts and your Dan Sweeneys and your Cole Piagianis, you know, big players, but he's a top manager for the level, and he was perfect. It's all down to him. I mean, when we actually got Steve, we were second bottom of League Two. We're in the mud. I mean, we had 9 games to go, and it was like, we are gone here. And, you know, we'd been flirting with those places for a long time. We actually got relegated and got kept up due to Macclesfield, right? And he came in, he had a great end to us that year, and then, you know, built the team last year, get promoted, builds this other team, and up the top, I had him on the pod Friday going, well, you know, promotion, it's looking good for us at the minute. I was like, come on, Steve, this is ridiculous. So, look, it's all down to Steve. It's been a tough 9 years as a Stevenage Football Club supporter, incredibly tough. I've travelled everywhere to watch this team play, and I've seen some real horrid, dark days, but the last 12, 15 months has been unbelievable. And it's like we're living in a dream at the minute, and we're enjoying it. We don't know when it's going to end or anything, so we're just enjoying the ride and seeing what this special group can achieve.
I do honestly, you know, really echo that, and I kind of think that's what I love about the EFL. That, you know, I think if, like, when Lincoln, you know, we're doing really well in League Two to get up, Jake was having the time of his life. When Fleetwood got into the Football League, when Fleetwood into League One, Fleetwood were top of the league after getting into League One. I think that we won the first 3 games of the season, we're top of the league, and I was like ecstatic. And I can still remember being about 13, being, you know, we're top of the League One, Fleetwood Town Football Club, above like to Bristol City, Preston. So these sides that kind of you think, well, hang on, these are founding members of the Football League. These are sides that have been in the Championship for decades. And it's just unbelievable. And I kind of think with Steve Evans as well at Stevenage, the amount of players that come back to play for him, and a lot gets said of him as a type of guy. If he was that type of guy, why would he carry on going back to him? Why would clubs carry on hiring him? Why would he get the success that he does? And I just love that. I love the guy personally, and he's always kind of been, you know, a character. I remember when we played Gillingham in lockdown, and we were 1-0 up at the time, and he came on the pitch. We were going through 1-on-1 on the side, but he came out and tripped our player up. Like, just like people would be thinking, I was like, you can't not. He's very much like a lower league version of Neil Warnock, isn't he? You kind of just like kind of think, well, appreciate him while he's here, because we often say there's no characters in football anymore. He certainly is our League One character.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, you just hit the nail on the head. I mean, the guy is just, again, if he's not your manager, you hate him. When you love him. Do you know what? I've had many chats with Steve. We've had Steve on the pod 3 times. He came on the other day. And actually, when you speak to Steve, he's just a normal, really nice bloke. He's got this image, right? Everyone's got this image of him and portrayed this image of him. But actually, when you speak to him, he's a really nice bloke. And one thing with him as well is he's got this robust type of image to him. People think he's a really nasty individual behind the scenes. But speaking to him, you can actually see why the players love playing for him, because he's like a father figure to the players. He builds. I say this with Steve Evans and I know that there's been things in the past where he's had troubles at different clubs, but he builds communities within the dressing room. He builds families, and I think he's hit that off with us. He's built a community using some players, as you've said, who have played for him in the past, and he's done that with us. He's built a family within the team, and it's brilliant what he's achieved with us. I mean, do you know what? I would go far as saying, I might be wrong here, but I'd go far as saying, I mean, he's certainly the best ever manager we've ever had in the short amount of time. But I would go far as saying he's probably done one of the best jobs in League Two and League One with us, just on the turnaround and the trajectory. So the guy knows how to win games, doesn't he, at this level?
Absolutely. And one final question before we do let you go, and thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully we can get you back on later on in the season. Next week is a huge game against Oxford United. Dare to dream. You're at your place. Anything can happen. They're coming into your house.
Please beat them. Please. We cannot stand Wardy.
He's a little small man. He gets a bit grumpy when they lose, so it'd be good to put him back in his place. I can't see Stevenage not winning games of football at the moment. And the frustrating thing is, you could have won your previous 2 games, but late goals again kill you. But forget about that. You're still in that top 6. Oxford next week. What are you thinking?
Yeah, look, first was a massive game. I mean, 32nd, a game we never thought that we'd be involved in League One for our 10th game. And actually, when you look at our fixtures over the next 5 weeks, we've got some big ones. We've got Oxford, Bolton, Derby, Blackpool, Port Vale, Wigan. They'll all come thick and fast. So, we've had this 2 months where, we've had a really good fixture list, but now we're going to see, how good is this? Can this Stevenage team stay up the top of League One? Can they actually compete with the big sides on a regular basis? So I think Saturday is our first big test of this run that we've got coming up. Look, you know me, I'm never going to take my positivity hat off. I'm positive for the game. I believe the boys can get a win. I just think, look, we're on a bit of a massive momentum push at the minute. The great thing about our team is every one of our players is a starting player. They can start and win. And I think at the minute, with the style that we have, our direct high press approach, I could see us nicking a win Saturday. We recorded our pod an hour ago, and I said 1-0 with BGR scoring the winner, and I'm going to keep that prediction, 1-0 to the bar with Big Goal really scoring. So yeah, I'm going to win. Yeah.
Matt, as well, thank you so much for coming on. And where can they go and find your terrific podcast? It is in the description. And again, go over there. It's brilliant. And positivity. And even if you're not a Stevenage fan, you'll love it as well. And Matt, thanks very much, mate. And all the best for Saturday. And hopefully you're still smiling come at 5 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, look, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I watch the show every week, and I've been seeing all the kind words you've been saying about me the last couple of weeks. I sit there with my cup of tea and go, I bloody love these two. I love them. Yeah, I love them like your family members, boys. I'm like, I've got to link up with these sometimes. But no, look, thanks for having me on. You want to go and check the podcast out at TSFC Podcast on Twitter. Go and give it a listen. But boys, thank you so much. I love the pairing. I love the listeners. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much, mate.
Up the borough.
Up the borough. Go on, boys.
Cheers, mate.
See you later, boys.
Cheers, bud.
Ben,
there we are,
Ben, you just said you could never predict Stevenage to lose a game. Dare I just pull up the receipts from the last T-Lot? Cheltenham versus Stevenage. Wardy 2-0 Stevenage. Tom 2-0 Stevenage. Jake 1-0 Stevenage. Ben, do you want to share, Ben? Do you want to share?
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
Ben went for Cheltenham 1, Stevenage.
I keep trying to be fancy with Cheltenham, kind of think it's reserve psychology. You kind
of.
I know
you are. Yeah, I know you are. You have been this week and all you.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, forgetting that, we're going to come on to Saturday's games very, very quickly. Some big games in there as well. Barnsley, Blackpool, an absolute thriller. Blackpool 14th, although only 4 points behind Barnsley, can go, a point behind Barnsley with a win. Cambridge go to Derby, Jake. Can they cause an upset with Derby having so many out?
No. Not for me. I think Derby are going to be too strong. They've got back-to-back wins in all comps this week as well, so I think that's massive for them. They've got some really big players in that team. I think Derby will be too strong.
Exeter's quest to get back to winning ways is against Northampton Town. Northampton Town looking for a first win in 4 after losing their last 3 games against tough opposition in there as well. Fleetwood entertain the O's. Can Fleetwood grab their first points at home and even score their first goal at home in their 4th attempt, Jake?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I think, I back Fleetwood, mate. Performances have been good in recent weeks, so I've got a feeling you might just be celebrating your first win of the season this week.
Wade Elliott was sacked as Cheltenham Town manager. Again, it didn't come to a surprise. 8 games, 7 losses, a draw. Away at top of the league, Portsmouth. Sky Bet League One, ladies and gentlemen. That feels like a lifetime ago. They've gone for a different formation. It wasn't working. They had 2 sent off against Peterborough in the week. Steve Cottrell has reportedly turned the job down. Who do they go to next, Jake?
Difficult, isn't it? Although if you ask me, I'd probably say Matt Gray, wouldn't I, from Sutton? Because that's what I say for everybody. But genuinely,
I think League Two, by the way.
I don't think. I think that they're better off getting someone that's out. I'm frantically looking at the odds, who doesn't really inspire me. You keep stalling. I'm going to look at the bookies.
Bristol. Well, they play Lincoln, so
they do play Lincoln, and I'm absolutely terrified because knowing Lincoln, we're probably going to let them. We're probably going to let them score.
Peterborough host Bristol Rovers in the Johnson Clark Harris derby. Bristol Rovers come off the back of the unbeaten in 3, 7 points from 9. The Posh look to get back to winning ways after a good point at the University of Bolton Stadium. Port Vale entertained Bolton in an absolute thriller. One of the games of the day. There's not too many big games in League One, but there's some bangers like this one. Bolton will be backed by over 3,000 travelling supporters. Port Vale again will be back strong at home. Again, loud and proud from the Valiants as they look to cause another upset in Sky Bet League One.
Darryl Clark, that's who they appoint. Darryl Clark.
There we are. And kind of been down that way before, hasn't he, with Bristol Rovers? So location. Kirsty Allsop might be on that one. There you are.
It's fucking late, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, it's a bit late. Reading entertain the Brewers. The Brewers look to make it unbeaten in 3 as they go to struggling Reading. Reading have won 3 out of 4 at home in Sky Bet League One. Shrewsbury entertained Charlton. Charlton won here by 1-0 last year. Getting the goal was Saki. Again, 15 goals for Charlton last season. Again, an absolute star in their team. Can they go there and win this season? Oxford go to Stevenage, Jake. Matt Farley, Stevenage. We've heard the positivity. We've heard 2 sides today. We've heard the deluded one and the happy one. Which one are you going with?
Yeah, about Farley. I think Stevenage is a tough place to go.
Is that because you like Farley more than you like Wardy?
No, that's not true. No. It is. I'm going to stick down the middle, actually. I think I went 1-1 on T-Lot. I'm going to stick with that.
Wigan entertained Portsmouth in another big game in Sky Bet League One. Wigan look to carry on their impressive home start. Again, been a bit shaky, a defeat to Barnsley, but some good results against Northampton.
Come on, the Ticks.
And the result as well. Can the Ticks? And I did say Ticks this time, not like T-Lot last week. If you know, you know. I can see a Portsmouth 1-0 victory in this one. Again, continuing their run at the top. Jake?
What, Wycombe? Yeah, Wycombe. Yeah, for me. Oh, you asked me about Port. I was reading.
I'm asking you about Portsmouth, mate.
Difficult. I think Wigan are good at home. And I know there's a lot of Pompey fans in here. We want to get some reaction. So
we don't.
It's got 4-0 written all over it to Wigan.
And Wycombe played Carlisle. Wycombe again, been impressive until a defeat yesterday. They had won 4 and drawn 1 out of the last 5. Again, I do think they'll bounce back against a Carlisle United side. Again, Jake, we'll come to the... so again, for the next 5 minutes or so, there's going to be a live Q&A. So ask us anything. Please like this stream. We're so close to 66 likes. We're going to beat it this week. I'm sure of it. Get your comments in. Get your questions in for the next 5 minutes. Flood the comments. Jake, is your YouTube channel going to come back? There's one for you. Because are we going to plug it or not?
Yeah, I mean, you can come over and have a look, but there's not a lot there at the minute because I'm shut with work. So I will upload when I can. I've got the gear to do it now. So
All the
Channel
gear, no
72.
idea this one.
Well, Channel 70, come over if you want. There's no content there at the moment, but come over and have a look. That would be great.
Absolutely, and keep the live Q&As going as well. As many questions as we can in the comment section below. Jake, if I was asked to ask you, obviously one of my own, what would you say so far this season has been result of the season? Because there's we're 8 games in with I think 3, 4, 10 teams now have played 9 games because there was 2 on the side, there was 3. So bear in mind we're good 20% through the season now, pretty much. What would you say the best result of the season?
I've got 3. I know it's a cop out. So my 3 are Oxford 1, Port Vale 2. Is up there. I forgot the third one.
Bolton 0, Wigan 4.
Bolton 0, Wigan 4 is definitely another one.
I think Portsmouth winning away at Barnsley.
And also I had Barnsley 2, Pompey 3.
Yeah,
would be
my 3 were very very similar. I think Port Vale beating Reading 1-0. Reading had just come down, beaten 1-0, lost 7-0 the week before. I'm sorry, Port Vale fan. I'm just that's a good result, but the Oxford game. I don't want to put 2 Port Vales in. Portsmouth winning at Barnsley is superb result. 3-0 up after half an hour. Scoring twice in the same minute, which is bizarre. And then Wigan winning away at Bolton, which is a superb result. I also kind of think as well, which I kind of think shocked the world, will be when the day Cheltenham score a goal and Fleetwood Town get a win. So they're going to be big days in football, aren't they? So again, what's Jake's gender against Steve Evans? Steve has proven you wrong.
My agenda, I won't go too far into it. My agenda against Steve Evans is, as a Lincolnshire football fan, he wrongdid Boston United, and Lincoln fans have had a hatred towards him since then for what he did, brown envelopes, etc. He messed with the budget and really messed up Boston United. So that's the reason Lincoln fans hate him. But I'm not a fan of him. His antics on the touchline, I don't like them. But I can see why you would if he was your manager.
Oxford beating Derby. Forgot about them too as well. It's I think Oxford at Pride Park. I think Oxford at Pride Park beats Barnsley. I really do, because they did it back to back as well. I mean, that's what's got to be said. They did it back to back.
Yeah, I just think.
I'm sorry about that, Jacob. I totally forgot about it. It was just something that totally come into my head. Because I was a bit short on comments, so I was like, "Oh, panicking." I do think Oxford away at Derby.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think Wigan away at Derby is better than Oxford away at Derby.
Yeah, I kind of think I can see what you mean, but I think Oxford going to Derby after they went to Derby, didn't they, and put the same, and then they went to Barnsley and backed it up. I kind of think to go to Derby and win, and against a rival who was going to be there for your top 6 place this season, I think it was a huge result for them. I really do. Do you think Vale will keep the form they are on? I do. I think that Port Vale, now I think about it, will be in the top 12. I don't think they'll be in the top 6, I'll be honest with you. But I can see Port Vale getting over 60 points. You got 60. Did you get 61 last 60 or 61 last year?
62, mate.
62?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did, because we were above you. Then obviously we drew and you scored. We finished 4 points below you.
Virtue. Baby, where's the shirt? Bring it out.
60 points. I think they'll get. I really do. I really do. You can have that back in a couple of weeks, mate. Believe me. And don't be bringing me a bloody bucket out like you did for Tom. Lads, who finish higher at the teal up pundits?
Lincoln.
I think it's quite obvious. Obvious.
Fleetwood.
In my eyes. I kind of think at the start of the season, we all did this. I put Fleetwood 17th. I put Lincoln in the top 12. I put Oxford and I put Portsmouth, and I'm sticking with that. I put Portsmouth in the top 2, Oxford in the top 6, Lincoln in the top 10, and I think I put Lincoln 10th. You hated me for that. I think if Lincoln finished 10th now this year, I think it's a good season for them, because I think
it's not.
All right, then, would you take now, if I said to you, you're 10th in January, 4 points off the players, would you take that now?
Yeah, because we'd have players coming back.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of the season. That gives us a complete different.
You've got to weather the storm, I think. But I still go around. I'm not going to be far off in my predictions with Fleetwood. I think Fleetwood will be in and around 17th, 18th place this season. I think Fleetwood will stay up this season.
Yeah, me too.
I really do. Now I need to. Mom, have you put vodka in my blackcurrant? Just saying. After Wigan starting our point deduction, Derby first game is better. Yeah. Also going to beat Northampton as well. There's some big results for Wigan. I think. What would you say the better result for Wigan is? Beating Bolton or beating Derby? I'd probably take Bolton because it's the local rivals.
Yeah. And it was 4-0.
They could have beaten Bolton 6-0. Say if they beat, I don't know, Port Vale 4-0, I'd have gone for Derby. I'm only going for Bolton because they were top at league and they are the rivals as well. And beating your rivals is always one better. 1st of November, please, lads. As well. Jake, I'm just going to save that clip where you say 4-0 and send it to Tom and share it next Sunday when we're at the DW.
Brilliant. Do it.
Do you think Vale will, I've answered that one. Oxford had 2 men sent off versus Port Vale, though. Yeah, again, there's some big moments in there as well. Question for Jake, did Rico Hackett play yesterday also on the teal?
Yes, he did, actually. He got an assist, actually. So, yes, he did play. Thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, goal-wise, the Reed was missing the Y, unfortunately, on this
Didn't have a chance.
Exactly. Again, T-Lot will be out tomorrow from 5 a.m. I think it'll be up now if you're on Patreon. I'm not sure. But again, if you want to go and follow us, that League One podcast as well, you can go and check that out as well. We do all stuff on League One over there as well. But anyway, we'll wrap this show up again. A 70-minute special. We always go over, don't we? Again, Matt Farley, special thank you to him. Absolutely love the guy. Jake, a big thank you for you, mate. As ever. 2 years into the job now as a co-host for me. So,
I know.
Again, you've lasted well considering you're only at short term till the end of the season. You're kind of a bit like Dino Manri. You just kind of, you come in, you do a decent job, you improve. As it kind of like, well, results are up and down, but we're keeping it a minute.
Yeah, and you know what, Ben? I've got a very good week planned, mate. Actually, we've got West Ham, like I say, on Wednesday, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's a free hit, and then Cheltenham at home on Saturday is one that you'd probably think that we should really go and win. So if we can win on Saturday and give West Ham a game, then I'd be happy because they've been beaten today, haven't they, by Liverpool? I seem to remember. But looking forward to it, playing the European champions on home turf. It should be good.
Absolutely. And Tony, great stream again, chaps. Really enjoyed Matt. Great idea to have a guest on. We'll be having one next week as well. And hopefully soon we get to the point where he can be a guest. Hopefully, yeah. Anyway, but again, a big thank you to Jake. Again, go and follow him over on Twitter. Jake_Tong98, is it?
Correct, mate. Correct.
Exactly. And FDFC Nappers for me as well. Please like the stream as you're heading out. Subscribe as well. Turn notifications on. We are so close now. I think we're 290 away from the big 12,000 subscribers mark. And a big over and out from me. Jake, any final words, mate?
No, mate. No, I'm good.
Up the imps today?
Well, no, the imps have gone down the table, haven't they, today? So we'll have to say down the imps.
As you can see, 13th on the table. There we are.
I'm going to be sick. I'm going to take half the table as Fleetwood.
I'll tell you what, there's some big movers in there, isn't there? And you look at
the gap, though, Ben.
Mind the gap. 19. It's so close. In the Championship, you look at it. Ipswich are top of the league, by the way. So well done to them. A big mention to Plymouth.
God, I wonder who could beat Ipswich at Portman Road. Crikey. Exactly.
Sheffield Wednesday need to learn a few or two. But again, Ipswich, phenomenal. Do you think, before we go, do you think Ipswich can go back to back?
Yes.
They are a phenomenal side. And again, well done to Ipswich. Well done to everyone involved there. And I promise you, next week we will have a 5-minute feature on the Championship for those three boys as well. But again, that's the table as we leave you. A big over and out from me, a big over and out from you, Jake. And up the cards, and we'll be back next week, 8 o'clock. See you then. Up the cards, up the Sky Bet League One. Thanks for having us.
Up the imps.
Up the cards. Got the boys.